Hello again. So we're going to do another video about Kolibri, but this time we're going to install it on a Raspberry Pi that I'm already running Fedora PI on. So Fedora is a version of Linux that's kind of in the Red Hat family, and I just wanted to show you how easy it is to install. Plus the other thing is I wanted to show you what Linux actually looks like, because so many people don't know. So let's go ahead and get started. So you can see is on the Kolibri download page, and you go to towards the bottom of this page, and one of the options, so we're not going to do the Raspberry Pi image this time, and not Mac OS either, but we're going to do the Python pip install. And if you click on that, you can actually see the command we're going to use. But first, let's go ahead and let's go to Activities and go to Terminal so that we can open up a command line. So, and I hope that this will show you to not be afraid of the command line. But we're going to do a sudo, and we're going to first make sure that the ability to install pip is there. So sudo yum-y to say yum is the package manager, so -y says don't ask us, just install, and python-pip is what we need. And so it's going to ask us for the password, so I'm not going to tell you what the password is for this system. I'm playing with it, so this is one, it's called tester, and this is something that I sometimes let people use, but yeah, it's not, I try to make my passwords decent, but good luck guessing it. But it's going to take a little while. It's going to go out there, and you can see it says it's already installed, so that's good. So we don't have to install it or anything. If it wasn't installed, it would have installed with that command. Now that command is Red Hat-ish specific, and it should work on most Red Hat versions. Some of the newer ones have DNF, but that's okay. So now we're copying that command, the pip install command, and we're going to go ahead and run that. And we don't have to actually do sudo, which is switch user and do or become root. This should run as a normal user. It doesn't have to be a root level user. And you can see it's going to download it, and then it's going to install it. And there's a couple things it needs to download. So, and this will take just a little while, but it won't take too long. So it's collecting the packages and installing Kolibri. Now, one of the challenges we're going to have with this is I'm already using the wireless. So it's not going to automatically start the wireless like we had in the prior install when we did the other install. It'd be interesting if I was using this via a network cable to see if it started the wireless automatically. I expect it would. I've been impressed with the install of Kolibri so far. So this does take a little while. This is a really small system, as you probably saw in the prior video if you watched it. I'm not going to show it, but yeah, it's actually done now. So now, once we've installed Kolibri, we still need to download Plex and then start the Plex running. So this is just a file we're going to save. It comes down pretty quick. And then we're going to actually move it from our downloads directory into our home directory, and we're going to run it from there. So just if you look, our current directory is our home. So that's where we want it to be. So we need to move it from our downloads directory. So this is where, so if you hit download and then just hit the tab key, it will fill it in the rest for you, okay? I really like the autocomplete with hitting tab. So I only downloaded that, so I just hit tab again, and there it is. So I did type in tab there so that at first, so that you knew what I was going to do, and then dot. So dot means to where I'm at, which we already looked at. It's the home tester. You saw that was really fast. Move doesn't actually grab it and move it physically. This is an operating system. It didn't have to go from one disk to another, so it's just a simple pointer as to where we're keeping it. So now we're going to look at the instructions, just because you then have to start it. Now this is something that if you were going to use regularly, you're going to want to put in a start script. There's a lot of things that you'd want to do with this. But the main thing is, I would strongly, so one of the videos I'm thinking about making is a firewall. Just firewall this off to only allow the people who are connected to it locally via the local Wi-Fi or the local network to connect to it, because it's not secure. And if you're going to have this connected to the internet, it would be good to make it secure. But that requires getting SSL keys for the web server. So we've got the command. We first have to change it to be executable. And the cool thing is here, we can just hit the tab after we've done it a little bit, and it'll finish completing it for us. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to start it. So in which we call it, and then we just issue the start command. Now, if we were going to run this remotely, because I like to do most of the things remotely, not on the physical system, we would probably do it with a no hup and an ampersand at the end, so that it would keep running even after we close our section. But this is actually on the local console, so it's gonna just run. And I believe it runs in the background anyway, so this starts a process that runs in the background. So once it finishes starting, we'll go ahead and we'll log into it. So it shouldn't take too long. Once again, this is just these nice little Raspberry Pis. This is a Raspberry Pi 4B. And this, I used the small SSD card for it instead of a big external drive. So you can see that it is starting now. And it looks like there's some initial things that it's doing. And the content is the initial seed of just the general how to work, I believe. Now you can have these seed each other, which is interesting, and I'm playing with it and learning more about Kolibri so that I can see if it's a good fit for what something that we're trying to do. But so I might make more videos in the future just to help understand. Kolibri can be set up in a lot of different ways. So it's a very flexible application. It should be pretty close. So a lot of these say initial, so I don't think that they would run after the first time starting it. So I think a lot of this is the first time it runs, there's extra stuff it had to do. So now we're getting to the stuff that's not initial anymore. So now it's just applying the content. So, by the way, if you're going to set up a lot of these, they suggest that you go ahead and copy the content over by doing a move type of a command with it down. So I will play with that. I actually like the idea of just getting these set up and secured and then copying it off. So it's mentioned, hey, here's how you connect to it now. It is connected to the network because I'm using this Pi device, but we can actually look at it as going to localhost. So we'll go to localhost, which is also 127.0.0.1, but you can just type in localhost. And then this is running on :8080. So we'll go to 8080. I'm having someone else type this for me, so 8080, yes. And here we are. So in the setup wizard, and we're good. So now we could go through the setup, and that's all I wanted to get to for this video. once again, let me know if there's other things you'd like to do, and I'll try and create more of these. So thank you.